So this is the Baja 174 BH by Jayco. It's a little tiny trailer, weighs less than 4,000 pounds. Really easy to tow. I have a way oversized truck, the Tundra, to tow it with, but I wanted to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, if you will, of what I've liked about this trailer and don't like, and repairs I've had to make over the 5 years of ownership. I'm the single owner, bought it new in 2019. So this is going to be our 5-year review. I traditionally do these reviews every year on my channel, just to share with you what I've liked and don't like about this trailer. So we're at the 5-year mark, pretty good mark for the wear and tear it might exist on this trailer, towing it to all these national parks that we go to. Since it's so small and tiny, you can get into some awesome places. But let's go give you a review. I'm going to share with you the outside on the north rim of the Grand Canyon and the inside here in southeast Arizona at Whitewater Draw, boondocking, which is what we like doing. But what has gone wrong? What do I like about it? What mods have I done to it? Let's dive into it, and I'll give you a feel for if I would buy this trailer again. So if we start on the outside of the trailer, I use a weight distribution hitch, as you see here. Highly recommend that. I probably have too much truck, though. I probably don't need it too much, but I use that when I tow. I had some issues with it actually slipping on the frame, so I ended up having it welded, the clamp here, so it doesn't happen. But that's just me. I guess I could have kept tightening the bolts, but after 3 or 4 times I got done with that and decided to weld it. I have 2 batteries. I think if you buy this trailer, most people would have 1 battery. 2 batteries. I had to replace the batteries this spring after 4 years. But I found with the 2 batteries, they don't really go down too fast. So very beneficial when you're out boondocking with no hookups, no shore power. I can last for 4 or 5 days and still have half my juice still there. Had the large propane tank, very handy. Highly recommend the larger tank versus the smaller one. Gives me plenty of gas to keep the heater running. Don't really use it for my propane refrigerator, which is an electric propane refrigerator, but just for the heat. But that's the front end, the tongue. I have a external solar panel I can plug in it. It's called a Suitcase. Don't really use it too much. If I had the desire, I could stick it out in that sun. It would be fine. Really like the 4 stabilizer jacks on each of the corners. I think that's a big plus on this rig. Very beneficial to keep this stable. I also modified the front end here, and I use a pretty solid block. I don't have the power jack. You could always add that, I guess. I just see that as another thing to go wrong. I'd rather just crank it. But I like the extra stability of this stabilizer that I built out of wood. If you go around the trailer, it's got a storage compartment that I keep a lot of stuff in. You can see the hoses and whatnot. It's starting to wear a little bit with where it attaches with these hooks here. So you gotta make sure that stays locked. Steps into the trailer, just your normal steps. Outside here you got the refrigerator. You can see it's the 174 BH. We work our way around. There's a couple drains here, so if you get into cold environments like I did last night in the 20s, you can flush it out. Speaking of which, I just had my water pump stop working last night, so I'm gonna have to go figure that out. It comes with a spare tire back there, and then has the awning. So the power awning with an LED light, which looks like I have the light on. You can see in there. That's very nice. It was 5 years ago. That was kind of a new thing for trailers. If you work on the other side here, love this campground. Fall colors, North Rim Campground in the Grand Canyon. My favorite place in Arizona to check out for sleep. On this side, got the vent for the heater. We got a fill station here, put fresh water in. There's a low drain valve in here. As you can see right here, I ended up having to replace that. Cheap plastic. Just the things that are plastic don't last. So I replaced that. The biggest thing I had go wrong with this trailer is that rear axle, or the axle itself, got bent. That should always be concave up, as you see there. Mine was concave down, so I had to replace that with the tires. When I discovered that a few years ago, I don't know how that happened. If I hit a pothole or what, but I had to replace that assembly. That was about $2,000 to give you an idea. Shore power hookup, right there. And you got a water tank, city water connection if you want. I actually never use that. I don't like the pressure on my water lines inside. I'd rather just use the pump. Then you got a water heater in here as well. So, but like I said, the fresh water, I'd rather just use the pump. Maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments, but I just don't want the pressure on my lines. I'd rather just pump it from the little pump, which, like I said, is not working today. The drain valves, this guy actually got stuck. I had to replace it. That's why it looks new. Did that in June along with my batteries. But yeah, that's another thing that went wrong. So on the outside, the things have gone wrong. Black waste went bad. Had to replace that axle. And like I said, new tires, but that's wear and tear. And then I replaced the batteries after 4 years. So really happy with that performance. I highly recommend the 2 batteries if you're going to do any modifications. So that's the outside. Let's check out the inside. Change of plans that show you the inside. I really wanted to give you the good and the bad with this rig. I'm actually in Southeast Arizona now, a month later. Give you an update. On that trip back from the Grand Canyon, I had a couple of things break. I had my stabilizer jack that I was bragging so much about. I had has a couple bolts in it, right? On the front and one on the rear. The one on the rear stripped out in the Grand Canyon when I went to raise it. So it was dragging, so I had to tape it back up. I'll leave a picture to show you what I taped. You can see the residue there. Issue is my stabilizer jack here. There's a screw in here that came loose. It needs to get re-screwed into that frame. I have the screw, but for some reason it doesn't lock. So, but that's the only other issue. The other thing that happened on driving back was, notice the pipe underneath my, check that out. The pipe joint underneath my bathtub had cracked. Normally it's just the screws right on. I'll show you a video of that too when I discovered. But that was not expected. So I wanted to really give you the good and the bad with this rig so you have an idea. But yeah, like I said, we're in Southeast Arizona right now. A place called Whitewater Draw. Highly recommend this area. Boondocking spot. Tons of sandhill cranes. I'll leave a link to a video I'm posting on that as well. Great place to boondock free on the Fish and Game, Arizona Fish and Games place. But finally, let's go inside and I'll show you the rig, the internal of it. It has a queen bed, 80 by 60. Pretty nice. Other than getting the good and the bad, this thin foam mattress they give you, just not sufficient, right? That's not fun sleeping on. So I got a foam topper, put that on there. Really nice. Plenty of windows in the front, get good ventilation. I'll show you what I did with a modification in a bit. Top is plenty of storage for clothes, sleeping bags. I put reading material up there. Has a dinette, single or really a two-person dinette. As you can see there, heaters down here. It works fine for this little rig. This is my solar panel suitcase. I keep storage there. This will actually drop down and make into a bed across there if you have 5 people. It sleeps 5. The other 2 areas are the bunks. Bottom bunk is actually a very nice place to sleep. I've discovered it's got a window you can open up for ventilation. It's also your emergency hatch. Light power, 120 power. The newer rigs, I think, have USB power. Same thing again, though. This is your foam mattress they provide you. I put in a thicker mat just to cover that area so it sleeps better, right? There is storage underneath here. I keep emergency supplies in. But the reason I really wanted to show you or pause this video and wait a month is under the shower bathtub, that pipe broke. That was the issue I wanted to flag to you guys. I've never used this shower. I know, kind of weird, but it is small. But you know, I'm 6 feet tall. I can fit in here with the skylight that they have. But I think, you know, things made of plastic tend to break, especially driving down the road. It's an earthquake. So you have a toilet, which is fine. And then up here, I've had a little bit of the wallpaper start coming loose. And I think that's just heat exposure from being parked in the sun. They put in a cheapo fan. I replaced it with this beautiful fan. This is a Max Air fan. You can really push some air through here, either direction in or out. A couple $100. I think it's money well spent to replace the cheapo fan they put in these rigs. But plenty of storage. Like I said, there's storage under the bunks. Got plenty of storage here. I use it for paper, cups, plates, extra toilet paper and whatnot. It's a 2-burner stove, sink. Water pump I alluded to stopped working. It's now working again. Go figure. And you get your 3 settings: fresh, black, and gray. Tank sizes are around 20 gallons. So not huge tanks, but they're usually sufficient for me to boondock for a week. If you plug to shore power and you got an antenna, that turns the antenna on, and that's up here. You can raise that and move it into whatever direction you want. See the light on the antenna here when that's on. It also has the ability to plug in a 12-volt TV. The newer models have 12-volt TVs, which is nice. But yet I have to be plugged into shore power to use my TV, as you see here. Microwave, it's always worked. One of the other issues I've had break is the clip on my refrigerator broke off. Again, plastic stuff seems to break. But that's a pretty quick tour of the inside. Plenty of storage, so lots of window lighting. The cross ventilation is really nice. If I had to change anything on the inside, I wish some of the stuff was a little bit better quality from the plastic standpoint. But other than that, I've been pretty happy with the inside. The windows have always worked, never leaked. Trying to give you the good and the bad. The other thing that broke on the inside was the converter. You can hear it running there. So that converts your power into the correct current. This was actually covered in a warranty. Jayco gives you a 2-year warranty. So that went off for broke in the first year, along with my furnace. The igniter on it, that ignites the flame, also broke. So those are the two issues I had in the inside, as well as that crazy drain pipe and the refrigerator clip all seem to have broken on the inside. So let's go back outside. That drain pipe there, crazy that thing broke. I had to replace my tires again. Got my third set of tires. I saw some sidewall cracks in my tires, so I just put those on. $630 for 2 tires. So don't go cheap on your tires. You don't want one of those to blow. So I seen the sidewall cracking. Even those that haven't driven a ton on their tires, if they're sitting still, they undergo oxidation, that rubber, and they don't tend to wear well. So one way to get around the inability to have 120 volt power when you're out boondocking, right, is highly recommend this if you're going to get a trailer that doesn't have a lot of 12 volt stuff, like my TV and stuff is not 12 volt. Is get yourself a portable battery. I use Jackery here. It's a Jackery 300. It will last me a week charging my devices. So it's highly suggest you looking for something like that. It really will extend your ability to camp in some pretty awesome spots. Especially like out here in southeast Arizona, or like I was at, or earlier up in the north rim of the Grand Canyon. I didn't show you the awning, but the awning goes out with these power switches here with the LED light that I alluded to earlier. So that's nice. And then you can turn on the lights. That's a relatively new thing in the last 5 years, but that is nice. I really like that awning. Keeps the shade when you're sitting in the chairs and checking out the scenery. But yeah, I'll leave a link to a couple other videos. If you like boondocking, camping, hiking, adventuring, please consider liking and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate you guys checking this out. Hopefully it was helpful, gave you the good and the bad with regards to this little Jayco Baja. So I guess the ultimate question is, would I buy this rig again? I think the answer is yes. Lots of stuff's broken. I will leave a description of all the items broken. The mods I've made, such as the dual batteries, the max air fan, I think are a must in the description, along with some of the links to the other areas that you've seen these 2 videos at, the North Rim Grand Canyon, Campground, and my latest venture here in southeast Arizona, boondocking at Whitewater Draw, and checking out the sandhill cranes. I'm waking up to 20,000 cranes chirping at me. But yeah, I think I would buy this rig again. There's some things I wish were different. Really would like the aluminum siding to be composite Asdel type siding, but that's more weight and money. I really like the smallness of this trailer. My channel is kind of devoted to adventuring and backpacking. A lot of those campgrounds I stay at are national parks. They're not suitable for larger rigs. I like the better gas mileage with the smaller rig. Towing, I get 10 to 11 miles per gallon towing this guy with my Tundra at 65 miles per hour. But you know, tell me what you think you like or dislike about this rig. Like I said, I'll leave a description. In the description, I'll leave what I mod on it, things have broken on it, so you have a better feel if you're considering this rig. The newer ones do have the Asdel option. Have a solar panel on the roof if you want, and much more 12 volt capability, which I wish this had. I end up using that Jackery, like I kind of pointed to supplement the need for power when I'm off grid here and enjoying scenery like this in southeast Arizona. Appreciate you watching the channel. If you like this type of content of adventuring, exploring, and just camping, please consider liking and subscribing. Appreciate everybody being here, and to our next adventure. Thank you.